Desire Under the Elms has always been a very captivating play. There are various reasons for it. Basically, it is a New England play that was written back in 1850s. The language used in the play is not a standard English. In fact, it is a local dialect of New England people. Obviously, it has created interest in the minds of the audience. It has a very captivating characters. It will not go in hand with the social structure of that particular time. It is based on Greek mythology, especially Phaedra. It has a very scandalous subject matter. It is different than an average American play that was staged by the time. Obviously, Americans really liked the play even after 100 years. It is a classic of American theater even today. Many art critics have opined or they have given their opinion about the play. If we go on counting, definitely it will take much of our time. Let us take some of the important critics who have said something about the play. There is no doubt that Eugene O'Neill has set himself as the most favorite of American play and most popular American playwrights with the staging of this particular play, Desire Under the Elms. This has become the greatest of American plays. It was premiered on November 11, 1924 at Greenwich Village Theatre. Do you know one critic called this particular play as a distress because it incorporates infanticide, it incorporates drinking, it incorporates cursing, it incorporates the vengeance and something that is called incest. With staging of the play, this made a small fortune for the playwright. Many critics and audiences found this play to be scandalous, as I said earlier, for its content in New England. In New England society, the content that was shown in the play, though it was derived from a Greek mythology, did not make any difference. The Greek master playwrights did not mean anything to the New England society, but it happened to know that O'Neill was suggesting. He was trying to suggest something more than the apparent subject matter that he was talking about. He was more concerned with the larger form of American tragedy that was appearing on the American theater by that time. Euripides, Hippolytus, and Jean Racines, they Phaedra were the principal models of this play, and O'Neill. These plots were brought in a archetypical level that itself made the play rather indigestible to the American theatre. O'Neill also brings in the Freudian psychology. Freudian psychology of Oedipus complex that has gained a solid ground with the approach of the century. Many times it is questioned whether O'Neill finally succeeded in giving a true tragic stature to the characters or to his character. There is hardly any doubt that the drama really had all the tragic elements. But the earlier question remains as it is. There are three considerations for its justification. First, Eben's basic motivation remains unclear throughout the tragedy. Abby and Eben lack the nobility of the purpose that readers are associated with. That is what makes the tragedy a questionable. The third thing, Naturally, that comes. The third thing is that Evan is made totally a victim of psychological drives, and he does not arrive at the choices freely. This element makes a pathos and not a tragedy. However, there is one critic who argued that O'Neill designed this whole play around the single moral fact. Evan's father, Ephraim Cabot, ruined the life of Evan's mother and killed her working hard in the farm. That is that is what Evan has always been saying, and the sin of that particular cries out for retribution. O'Neill's vivid description about Elms suggests clearly that there is suffering of a woman that is suggested of the bending of the trees. He writes, there is something of the sinister maternity of a suffering woman right from the beginning. Eben is telling that he wants to take revenge of his mom. At the parlor scene as well, we see Eben falls for the erotic tendency of Abby as he sees the spirit of his mom. If we see the structure of the play, we see that in the first part, Eben solidifies his claim on the farm by giving out the money to his brothers. In the second part, he begets a son from Abby and and actually humiliated his own father. And in the third part, in the third part, Abby kills her own son and stops Ephraim from declaring his heir. Indirectly, she is that way helping Eben in his dreams. The motive of the revenge is complete by this time. To some critics, it is not a tragedy. In fact, it does have all the substance of the tragedy. Whenever we come to know about Eben's mother, we learn it from Eben and not from Ephraim. The pastoral setting of the play conveys the unconscious forces that work. By the way, do you know the full name of Eugene O'Neill? हमें क्या करना है उसका फुल नेम? होगा कुछ तो, उसके बाप ने कुछ तो रखा होगा ना, एग्जाम में थोड़ी ही आने वाला है. अरे भाई, ऐसी बात नहीं. जरा जरा जानकारी रखो. हुँ? उसका फुल नेम था यूजिन ग्लैडस्टोन ओनिल. नुकसान तो नहीं हो रहा ना. Let us come back to American drama became serious drama with the hands of O'Neill. In a real sense, the American drama became that way, international. Desire Under the Elms is a play that accumulates love, possession, and the greed. All these happenings is in a very dramatic way, in breathtaking fashion. Drama should have it. The play is a conflict between love, power, possession, and vengeance. We realize, rather come to know, that Eben has problems. Eben has a problem with Abby Putnam. He no longer could control his attraction for her. His desire also started growing. Meanwhile, Abby was also frustrated with Eben, and she she tells her husband, that is Ephraim, that Eben tried to flirt with, on which Ephraim becomes furious. He becomes angry and almost decides to kill his own son. But Abby somehow controls her husband, Ephraim, and continues to flirt Eben. Eben too falls for her and they meet in parlor. She tells Ephraim she needs to have a son and his hard work in the farm is what he should concentrate, he should continue. Meanwhile, Abby gets Abby gets a child from Eben, on which Ephraim is very, very happy. He is very happy knowing that the farm has got an heir. Dance and party goes on, but but Ephraim comes to know through some of the whispers that the child Abby has got does not belong to him. It is a child, that is, Abby has got the child from Eben. Obviously, he becomes furious to know this. All his dreams collapsed. They are broken. He is that way. He is a very poor man in the play. I mean, he is emotionally poor man. Abby has deceived him. Judith Butler, one of the great critic, well-known critic, in his observation in gender trouble, feminism, and the subversion of identity says that Abby performs in a given patriarchal situation and shapes her identity according to the social norms, whether she survives or survives not on her performance, according to one critic. Such acts, or we can say enactments, generally constructed are they are performative in the sense that the essence or identity that they otherwise purport to express are the the fabrications manufactured and sustained through the corporal signs and other discursive means. थोड़ा दिमाग के ऊपर की बात हो गई ना। अरे भाई, कभी कभी लेकिन दिमाग के ऊपर की भी ऐसी भी बात करनी पड़ती है, दिखाने के लिए कि मुझे भी बहुत कुछ आता है। एनीवे, there is possibility that some people or some critics may take the play that concentrate on Ephraim rather than Eben. The unbelievable work that has made his earlier wives go on through even to their death. It can be taken as the hard God is redeeming through his fate to suffer the loneliness that has plagued throughout his life. There is something that is organizing in the play. It might be. It might be puritanical God that is shaping the course of the characters. This way, the play goes beyond merely the verbal appreciation. They, the play can be taken as the study in complexity of the individual desires and how the play describes the the various characters and their relationships. It also uses the themes of nature and religion as the breakdown to the drama. The presence of God is powerful concept that motivates and informs the characters' feelings and actions. Some some power is larger than the characters themselves, and it is omnipresent and omniscient as the God is. The character's life looks small before this power. It can be taken the power of God. The elm trees that surround the house is symbol of the God. It means even after the death, Ma has not left not left the house. And she goes on continuing the influence the or ongoing of the play. This way, the play is a natural tragedy, and even goes beyond that leaves we all for the unique theatrical experience. Anyways, this much critical is okay for the exam. We will see the other aspects of the play in our next part or in our next episode. Bye. You're supposed to do your job, subscribe, and watch my old videos too. यार अच्छा लगता है. God bless.